grievances to the district collectors, that is a deputy commissioner, because he is a member secretary of the Disha. Then quarterly, we were supposed to have the meeting at least 3 to 4 times, and if it needs a rest, more than 4 times also, we can conduct the meetings and review the projects. And we are going to ask the departments how they are implementing. And we want to give a lending hand to the implementing agencies, that means the concerned departments also, that whether they are facing any problems, whether they are facing any problems or the constraint of the funds while doing implementing the projects. So we want to give the helping hand to the departments also, to the implementing agencies also. And in fact, the MB, Lok Sabha MB and the Rajya Sabha MB has been met as a chairman and co-chairman of the district monitoring committee. And the state level chief minister is the chairman. Then the minister of RT is a co-chairman. And the principal secretary of the RT Rural Development is a member secretary. And accordingly, after the district level committee having thorough examinations, we will forward the observations, and the state Disha committee will finally see that the report goes to the ministry judiciously. So these are some of the activities of the Disha committees. And then the one thing what I have observed is maybe some of the nodal agencies which they are supposed to get their projects, the sanctions, may not be availed because of maybe communication gap or unawareness of those projects. That is also there. So, well, we reviewing the meetings, we'll see that what are the funds available and the Disha sanction from the ministry, and whether our state are fully availing all those opportunities or not. That is also one point. Secondly, it is many of the, what I have observed is many of the departments are reluctant to give even the records. Reluctant in a sense, it is not like the RTI, because we are the Disha committees here to give the helping hand to the implementing agencies as well as to the state Disha committee members, and any findings out we are going to communicate to the ministry. So it is a very positive approach. Of course, if the misuse of fund is there, then straight away we have to give a report to the ministry that it is misused. If they are doing well, then accordingly we will also recommend the report to the ministry. That is one part, Disha committee, which will, before we start the meeting, I would like to enlighten how Disha committee is going to work. That is one. Secondly, we have this GTS in the postal service. This is a Government Tax Shiksha. Yeah, Government Tax Shiksha, the GTS recruitment. As earlier I was discussing with all of you. Our Honorable Chief Minister also, he is so keen to see that this is implemented in our state to avail the opportunities for our youths for the employment. And this is one of the gateway to enter in the postal services. Once our local people enters in the GTS, then they will be there with the departmental interviews or their conduct examinations. They will ever possible to get a higher up courses, white collar jobs in their own departments. Now, we have requested our Honorable Chief Minister, then our Chief Secretary, to, for the benefit of our states and for the local youths, we have requested to implement and declare that the local languages on the dialects to be recognized as a third language, especially with reference to the GTS employment, Postal Department's employment for that purpose. Because I think that this is one of the best to get the opportunities for their job opinions. Because only the metric mark sheet they used to upload. And as per the merit of the marks, they used to select and then get appointments. They used to get. But our local youths, those who secures the more than 85, 90 or above 90 marks, they always opt for the better studies. They never opt for the GTS employments. And whereas those who are getting below 80 marks, they are not getting the opportunity to get selected because it is the national competitions. So from the mainland, people, those who secures 80, 90, 100 marks, they are the only one who selects as per the merit of their mark sheets and get employment in our state. So once the third language is recognized by our state government, then that will be one of the criteria for the employment of these GTS in our state. So we have requested the government of Nagaland, Chief Secretary, the Chief Minister, they are also interested, and then they are giving the first effort to declare at the earliest. So we are hoping that they are going to give us a good result as early as possible. That is one. And thirdly, it is not a controversial thing since our working president, he's one of the senior advocates, he's here. He also will highlight about this. About Article 371A, the sender has whatever the provisions the Act implements in the Parliament, we have given the full protections that any act which passed in the Parliament cannot be implemented until unless the state government, the state legislative assemblies reviews and accepts. So that has guarantee. We got the guarantee of the protections of the rights of the landowners, as well as those culture, traditions, customs, and land and its resources. So we are totally protected. We have every right. Landowner have got every right. The citizens of the Nagas have got every right of our religion, tradition, and culture. Now, having this provisions, under these provisions of Article 371A, how state government, whether state government is bringing any innovative and a positive approach to facilitate for the development and for the environment of the states. And I think having the act, simply having the protection of act, if we just keep like this, the outcome of that act may not be, will not get the fruits of that act. Similarly, landowner have got its own rights. Now, land in this act, landowner has to come forward to participate. And I think with their efforts, with their understandings, with their land, if the landowners also should step forward for the development of the state by donating the land or by understanding with the state governments, if within the state, having the protection, the act of Article 371A, I think if we can use that, then definitely the fruits of the Article 71 were enjoyed by the citizens of our states. Now, we are, as of now, the Article 371A, everyone is honored that Article 371A, and no one is touching the Article 371. Now, everyone is scared that if we touch this Article 371, the government of India may act like Article 370 of Jammu and Kashmir if they do it away the articles. That also people have, so they don't want any control. But we have the total protections giving the act is already passed. Now, only thing is our state government should know how to use it, how to use that act, and with that act, with that provisions, how to improve our state development and activities, taking the confidence of the landowners, and with the good gestures of the landowners, if we can use it, that is for the productivity and the benefit of our state, then our rights also will be there. Our these land and resources also will come within us. Then tradition and custom and religion, that those are all automatic. So I think that is another one where I'd like to mention. I think Article 371A, our advocate can highlight better how to use the positively.
It will depend on the question.
Okay, so that is one since our member is then I think and people used to say that we have a mandate, and that mandate everyone has got to give a mandate, and to give a mandate we have a single precious vote, where with that vote we used to give the mandate to the government to make as a lawmaker of the state for the welfare of the state. Now, all of us, we all are the voters. And why it is a precious vote? Because this is going to give the mandate to make a law in the state, to rule in the state. Now, after giving the mandate, if our people, if the Nagas, if the voters start going against the government, which we all have given the mandate to that government to make rules and to maintain the law and orders in the state. If we feel regret of what we misuse the precious vote, I think the first mistake is the voters, where we have to know that before we go against the state government. Voters should be one of the agents to guide the state government, then to see that they implement the program. And within their tenure, if they are not doing well, if they are not delivering the justice to the people, then still you have that mandate in your hand with all those precious wood with you. So the next round of election is coming, and that will be 2028. The elections is going to be held. And the same mandate we all are going to give again. So since we have given for one tenure, everyone should see that we also should contribute that state government runs well. But if they are not, then we have the mandate cards where our precious wood can be cast, selecting the genuine and the reasonable leaders. So I think our mentality and the prospect has to be changed. After elections, we have to see that we should also participate, since we have already given the mandate. I think we should not blame ourselves that I have done wrong. Since whether it's done, we have done wrong or right, it is already casted, so we have to guide the state government. But if they are not doing well, then the next you have every right to exercise your precious vote to give a mandate to the better person, for the better party, for a better governance. That is one. And the lawmakers, since the lawmakers is making a law for the welfare of the people, which is very much for the state affairs. And the lawmaker knows very well that when to use, when not to use the laws in the state. So every round of administrations, it all depends on the lawmakers of the state. So knowing all that, our precious vote, our mandate has to be exercised in a proper way where, with your participation, with my participations, if we can do something good gestures or implement good for our states, I think that will carry the meaning. So that is one part, and then the remaining, the platform keeping